Well, I'd like to introduce myself as Nita Gonzalez. I am a Chicana activist involved in this community for the duration of my life as well, many generations. And more importantly, I am a daughter of the Chicano movement. I started very young organizing. I grew up in a family that was involved in social justice, the eldest daughter of Adolfo Corky Gonzalez and Geraldine Gonzalez. I was a young organizer. I knew when there were issues or problems, but I wanted to also figure out then how do we take care of that? How do we change that? And so perfect family to grow up with, right? And in that vein, I graduated from high school. I didn't see me in college. I saw me in community, but I couldn't quite figure out what that space was outside of my father. And it was at that time that my father, who had been asked by Martin Luther King Jr. to lead the Southwest contingent of the Poor People's Campaign, was in DC. And I went to my aunt and uncles because my aunt had stayed home as well. And I remember they were watching the news, and the news was showing at that time there was a demonstration led by Native American, indigenous First Nations people. The police began tear gassing. And I remember seeing my mom getting tear gassed. And I said, what am I doing? This is not what I want to do. I quit my job, took whatever savings I had, bought a plane ticket, and flew to DC, and never left the movement again.
Education, not racism. Chicano power, and our Selma is here.
In '69, I'll go back, there were members of our organization whose children went to West High School. And they came to complain about a teacher that badmouthed Chicanos and Mexicanos, about the lack of the curriculum that didn't speak to our history. Valid concerns, but not listened to. So out of that, they organized the West Side Walkout. And I was assigned by my dad to be that mentor kind of person that would help them and make sure we organized everything was in place. And so we did. We marched on West High School, and in the film, you'll see me. I have the bullhorn with the pigtails and the red ties on it.
A line of police officers moved into the crowd with professional precision. Order disappeared.
People said it was us that somehow rioted. It wasn't. The police were called, and they descended on us. The parents and grandparents, like my dad, and our older community didn't tolerate it and tried to come to our rescue. And they tear gassed the West Side for three days. It was a police riot. Many of us were arrested and charged, and then charges were dropped. At that time, that parents came together with my father in my father's living room, and they were over it with the school system. They were not getting any response. They felt they were losing their children. They were not academically succeeding, and they were losing who they were culturally and spiritually. And so they decided to start a school. And they started Escuela Tlatelolco, Centro de Estudios, at the Crusade building with 300 students, K through 12. I became a teacher with Escuela. I taught every grade level. I taught science, which I loved. I loved science, and I taught it from a different lens. I taught it from a lens of caretaker. I became the administrator of Escuela in 1981 and grew it from there. It was a sacred place to transfer culture and tradition, to inspire young people to stand up, to lead. We had children of activists, grandchildren of activists, and great-grandchildren. And why I'm proud about that work is that I can point to graduates that have gone on in their lives and have been incredible human beings and participants in their community.